So here I'm going to be going through how to remove the actuator out of here. You're just going to need some side cutters, plier, and then a couple replacement pins and a zip tie. So first part of the process that I'm going to start is cutting this zip tie up here, holding the wire just to make sure I don't forget that. Try to avoid cutting the wire. Now you can feed this back down through the step. Now that's out of the way, unsecured. Now I'm going to come in here and cut these pins. So this. They're kind of tough to get. Now you can pop that out of there, take the washer off, and repeat on this side. You just kind of got to squeeze, wiggle a little bit. You'll get it. There's that one. And get these pulled out of here. That's out of the way. So now after we got our pins cut out of here and our washers off, this thing's gonna be really tight still because it's fully locked down, which is probably the situation it's gonna happen in. So what you're gonna do here, you're gonna be careful not to cut your wires, but cut this little cable tie, get that cut. Now we can get at this bolt here. I'm gonna grab 3/4 inch wrench, 3/4 inch socket on an impact. Reach around to the back side to the nut. Okay. Oops. Drop my nut. Now I got the bolt out. It's still gonna be really tight. So what we're gonna do to fix that problem, you're gonna take your helper bar and kind of do that there. It's gonna pull that loose, so now I can move around. And now it's as simple as just getting it here, pulling it off. There you go. That's how you remove it. So now that you got your new actuator, there's one step you're gonna have to do before installing it. It's pretty simple. You're gonna have your loader with your plug. You're gonna take and plug these together, and you're just gonna need to extend the actuator a little bit. So with that, I went the wrong way. Now we'll go here. Now it's extended a little bit. Gives us enough wiggle room to reinstall it back into your max attach. So set this here and get my loader out of the way. So now have your actuator extended. I'm gonna take first thing, it's gonna be to pull these arms down. Should be pretty easy. And then this, you're gonna wanna make sure that if you're looking at it from the back of the max attach, that you have this sticker facing away from you. Now, before I go to put this in there, I'm gonna take 2 washers. They go on the round end on that peg, so that you put those there. I'm now going to get this into position. And here, this is a little tricky, but you should be able to line up the pins by moving this arm. Yep, now after we got this pushed all the way onto the pins, you're gonna take your washer. On this side, this pin, it doesn't matter which way you put it in or out. Slide that through there. Tap it in using my plier. Just push on it, make sure it's fully seated. It's a little tricky, but you should be able to reach through. And this, you're just bending around, securing everything in place. Bend that up. Now, spread the plier out a little wider so I can squeeze around both sides of the pin. So that one's in there. It's not gonna fall off or anything. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Go through, put the washer on. But here, what you're gonna wanna do, because this wire runs up past here, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have this pin in the orientation that it's not gonna rub on the wires. That seems backwards to what you'd think, but you actually put it in pointy side up Because now when you go and bend this around, you'll see. Now this other side, bend this around, spread the plier back out, and repeat, just squeeze that. So now when that's rubbing on the wire, it doesn't have these points to make any abrasions. So just go back up through behind the step. So now when you're going to reroute the wire, you're gonna push it up between the axle and the plate here, and then this slot in the step, that's where you're gonna put the plug in through. Do that. And now here, it lays in this groove. We will have a distance that it should be sticking out there. And then this here, kind of just come in through there, bend it back around, get that back through the other hole. So now it should look like this. And you just kind of saddle the wire with it. Pull this back through. And now you should be able to cinch down pretty tight on it. So now it's cinched down, it's nice and tight. Shouldn't go anywhere, shouldn't rub on anything. You can take, if you have a flush cut plier like this, and reach here, and just snip that off. And that's how you reinstall your new actuator.